Hello students, welcome to the discussion of our third week module in general mathematics, which is titled the exponential function, which was developed by Ms. Rubilin Paltikan of SDO Benguet. Okay, so for this module, this will focus on finding the domain and the range of exponential functions. So this is going to be the focus of this module. Now, for this one, before we proceed with the domain and range of exponential function, let us first have a quick review on what are the domains and what is range. We know that the domain is the set of x values that a function can take, and the range is the set of y values that a function can take. Suppose we have here a set of ordered pairs 1 and 0, 2 and -5, 3 and 6, and we are tasked to get the domain of this function represented by these ordered pairs. Then the domain is the set of all x. So this is the set containing 1, 2, and 3, right? And for the range, this will be the set containing all the y values which are 0, -5, and 6. Okay. Let's now proceed to the domain and range of exponential function. In doing that, so we need to be we need this theorem on the domain and range of exponential function. Suppose we have here an exponential function represented by f of x is equal to b times a raised to p of x plus h. So if you're holding your module with you, this is on page 4 under what is it of your module. Okay, of course, p of x here is linear. If the domain of this one is the set of all real numbers. So for all exponential function, the domain is always the set of all real numbers. Okay, palagi yun. Unless stated siya na limited lang yung ating domain. Pero pag walang limitation or restrictions ng ating domain, automatically set of all real numbers na yan. For our range, may dalawa tayo dito, no? That would be the order per h and positive infinity if our b here is positive or that is greater than 0. If it is less than 0, ito yan, no? Then our range there would be negative infinity and h. Okay, so that is our case here. For the first one of under what is it, alam niyo na yun, no? Yung domain and range na yun. Kasi ordered pairs lang ang mga yan. Let us proceed with this one. On page 5, in the first part, find the domain and range of the following exponential function. Suppose we have here an exponential function represented by h of x is equal to 3 raised to x minus 2 plus 4. So this is going to be our function. We are going to find the domain and we are going to find its range. Remember class, since walang restriction na nakalagay dito sa ating domain ng ating function na ito, that will automatically be the set of all real numbers. So that will be R. Okay, so real numbers is denoted by R, capital letter R. For the range of this one, i-check natin, no? So we need to write our function in this form. If you can see, so that is a yung may raised to x, tapos a constant. H here is a constant. Tingnan natin. So dito, ayan, naka-raised to x yan. Tapos meron tayong h dito ay 4. So if we are going to look at the parts of this one, b here is, okay, ang b dito yung katabi ng term na naka-raised to x. Okay? Yung term natin na naka-raised to x dito ay 3 raised to x minus 2. So, ano yung katabi ng 3? Obviously, wala, di ba? Pag walang nakasulat, that means that is 1. Or, since we're dealing with signs, that is positive 1. Okay? Saan ko ulit nakuha yun? Ito. Ito yung ating a raised to p raised to x. Ito yon. Yung b, yung katabi niya. Okay? Our a now would be, yung a natin is yung base ng naka-exponent ng x. So, ito yung term natin. Ano yung base nito? That is 3. Now, our p of x, yung exponent naman. So, ang ating base ay 3. The exponent is x minus 2. So, ito muna i-discuss natin ngayon, no? The cases where this is linear. Linear, ibig sabihin, x lang yan. Walang x squared, walang x cubed. So, hanggang x lang muna. And our h, of course, the h is the constant term. So, our constant term here is positive 4. Okay. Tingnan natin. In solving for the range, we need first to titingnan natin kung positive ba or negative yung ating b. Our b here is positive 1. Okay? Based from this function. So, positive 1 is obviously greater than 0. So, ibig sabihin, dito tayo magpo-focus sa number 1. Kasi positive 1 yung ating b. And that is greater than 0. So, the range of that one is h. What is h? Our constant. So, ang constant natin na na-identify natin doon ay 4. And of course, positive infinity. So, positive infinity, ang ibig sabihin yan, pwedeng 4, 4.1, 4.2 until infinity. So, kahit abot yan ng 1,000,000, okay lang, no? That will still be the range of our function. Now, anong ibig sabihin ng mga domain and range na yan, no? Let's see. Nasundan siguro dito, kaya let me just erase this one. Ano nga bang silbi ng domain and range, no? First, we identify the domain as the set of all real numbers. Ibig sabihin yan, class, since R yan, kahit anong value ng x, ang isa-substitute natin dito, defined pa rin yung ating function. Unlike, if you can remember, sa ating rational function, suppose we have here a function f of x is equal to 2 over x minus 3. Di ba sa rational function, may restriction ng ating domain. Anong restriction yun? Kung ano yung magpapa-0 sa ating denominator. So, that is except x here should not be equal to 3. This is under rational function. Bakit bawal yung 3 dyan sa ating x? Kasi, pag isa-substitute natin si 3, magiging 2 over 3 minus 3, tama? That will be equal to 2 divided over 3 minus 3 is 0. And we know that a number divided by 0 is undefined or that is infinity. Ngayon, sa ating example, yung domain natin ay simply R. Ibig sabihin ng class, walang restrictions ng x, walang exceptions, or walang bawal. Lahat sila pwedeng maging value ng x. So, pwedeng negative, pwedeng positive, pwedeng 0, pwedeng kahit anong fraction dyan, no? Of course, real numbers, except naman. Next, range naman. Range yan, ibig sabihin, ito pag parenthesis yan, hindi kasali si 4, di ba? Pag i-review natin yan, pag naka-brackets yan, pag naka-ganon yan, ibig sabihin kasali si 4, pag brackets, no? Pero pag parenthesis, hindi yan nakasali. Ibig sabihin, class, from 4.0001 siguro, basta except 4, kung ano yung number na pinakamalapit or mas malaki sa 4, hanggang infinity, pwedeng lalabas na value ng ating y. So, kahit anong gawin natin dito, kahit anong i-substitute natin dito sa ating function, walang lalabas na value ng y ay 3. Kasi yung range natin dyan, from 4 up to positive infinity. Siguro kahit mag-tumbling, no? Kahit mag-tumbling, kahit anong gagawin, walang lalabas na 3, walang lalabas na 2 sa value ng h. So, say for example, our x is equal to 4. Tingnan natin kung anong value, no? So, at h of 4, that would be equal to 3 raised to 4 minus 2 plus 4. So, sinubstitute lang natin yung 4 dito sa ating function. So, that is equal to 3, 4 minus 2. So, maging 3 squared ito, no? 3 squared plus 4. So, 3 squared, or 3 times 3 is 9 plus 4. This is equal to 13. So, ang lumabas doon ay 13, which is obviously covered pa rin ng ating range kasi nga from greater than 4. So, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi pwedeng walang 4 na lalabas dito. Kahit anong i-substitute natin dito, walang 4 na lalabas, walang 3. Yung lalabas ko dyan, 4.000001 and greater. Okay, so I hope that's medyo clear yung concept ng ating domain and range. Let's have another, how do you call it one? Example. Let's have this on the second one. F of x is equal to 1 minus 2 times 1/2 raised to 2 minus x. Kita ba? I think so. Kita naman siguro na. Yung number 2, yung problem dito. Sa inyong module, page 5. Okay, again, since walang restriction sa ating domain, later on, ipapakita natin paano kung may restriction sa domain, no? Since ganyan lang walang nakalagay, the domain here is automatically the set of all real numbers, okay? For our range, R, iba yung R, yung ganitong may doble, that is real numbers. Pag walang range lang yan, no? So, kailangan natin isulat ito in this form. Okay? So, dapat mauna yung may x tapos yung walang x. So, pag isusulat natin yan, f of x, simply rewriting lang ito, no? Unahin natin ito. So, that will become negative 2 times 1/2 raised to 2 minus x. Kasi yun yung kinukuha natin, no? We are writing it in this form. And then, siyempre si 1 plus 1. So, nire-write lang natin, maging ganito ang ating resulting equation. Anyway, wala namang nagbago dyan. Pinagpalit lang natin sila. Okay. So, negative 2 here will be our b. Our a will become 1/2. Our p of x will be 2 minus x. And then our h will be 1. So, yun yung identifications natin. First, ulitin natin, anong una nating titignan? Dapat si b. So, ang b natin dito ay negative 2, di ba? So, negative 2, is it greater than or less than 0? Well, obviously, it is less than 0. No, yung negative 2. Ibig sabihin, since that is less than 0, ito, yung pangalawa yung ating titignan. So, less than 0 yan, the range will be, okay, we just copy parenthesis, and then negative infinity. And then, what is our h? Ang h natin ay yung constant. Okay, so that is 1. What if walang nakalagay na constant? Siyempre, 0. Okay, so I hope medyo mas klaro na yan, no? So, same concept from greater than 1 up to negative infinity. So, pabaliktad naman siya, no? Ibig sabihin, walang lalabas na 2, walang lalabas na 3. Si 1 yung pinakamalaki. Okay. Let's have a third example. Another example. Itong mga ordered pairs, same yan ng x and y. Dito tayo sa may activity 2, match me up. So page 6 tayo. Number 1, our exponential function here is f of x is equal to 3 raised to x plus 4. Ito yung exponential function natin, no? So, nakaganitong form ba? Yes. Nauna yung may raised to x, tapos yung constant natin. Again, pag walang constant na nakalagay dito, class, ibig sabihin niyan, that is plus 0. But of course, we don't write plus 0, tama? Okay. So, for the domain, again, walang restriction yan. So, automatically, that is the set of all real numbers. Next, for our range, tingnan natin, what is our b? So, again, yung b is yung katabi ng may term na naka-raise to x. So, ito yung term na naka-raise to x, tama? So, ano ang katabi niya? Walang nakasulat, ibig sabihin, may invisible 1 dyan. Okay. So, pag may 1 dyan, that is greater than 0. So, since greater than 0 tayo, kasi that is 1. Ibig sabihin itong susundan natin. So, the range of that one will be h. Ang h natin dito ay 0. So it will become 0 and then positive infinity. What if, sige, yung function natin ay nakaganon, may negative doon, tapos negative 3x plus 4, and then, ayan, ganyan lang. F of x is equal to negative of 3 raised to the quantity x plus 4. Yung domain natin dito parehas range, set of all real numbers. Yung range natin dito ngayon ay, ito. May negative dyan. Kanina walang negative, di ba? Ibig sabihin yung katabi nito, negative 1. May invisible na negative 1 dyan, tapos nakaganon, no? 3 raised to x plus 4. Ganyan yung itsura niyan. So, ibig sabihin negative 1, that is less than 0. So, yung susundan natin is yung second. So, the range there would be negative infinity. And then our h, of course, is also 0. Okay, let's have another example. We have here, ito, yung number 2. Ito yung number 2, ito na yung may restrictions, no? So, for example, let's take that as an example, I mean. So, that is y is equal to, so y here is the same as f of x. So, okay lang yan. 9 raised to x. Pero may restrictions na natin dito, class, na yung x daw is greater than 1 or less than or equal to 5. Ito yung number 2 natin, no? So, let us check kung ano ang kanyang domain and ano ang kanyang range. So, again, yung domain nito, class, kanina walang mga ganito, di ba? Pero ngayon may ganito na. Ibig sabihin, may restrictions na yung ating domain. So, since ganyan, ibig sabihin, ito na mismo yung ating domain. So, you can simply copy that one kasi nga may restriction. And of course, or, you can write that one is in set builder notation na, yan. So, open 1, and then 5, and then close bracket. So, parehas yan. Ibig sabihin, that is from 1 to 5, na-included yung 5. Bakit sa 5 naka-brackets siya? Kasi class, may equal sign. No? May equal sign, so iba brackets. Ibig sabihin, included sa 5. Dito, walang equal sign. Ibig sabihin, hindi included si 1. So, yun yung ating domain. Now, for our range, since ganyan class na restricted yung ating domain, for our range, we need to substitute, no? I-substitute natin si 1, tapos i-substitute natin si 5 sa ating function. So that will be y is equal to, at 1, ito, at 1 yan, i-substitute natin siya dito, no? Y is equal to 9 raised to 1. So, i-substitute natin sa taas from our function. So, that is equal to 9. Okay? Next, ito naman, at 5, kasi restricted yan. At 5, our y is equal to 9 raised to 5. Okay? So, what is 9 raised to 5? That means that that is 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 times 9. So, that is 81. That is 729. Ano ba yan? And so on. And according to your module, yung lalabas dito ay 59,049. So you can just check that one, no? Ayan. Bakit iba yung step natin? Okay. For number 3, the same yan, no? At ang gawin natin sa practice times, sa page 6, we'll do maybe 1. And then you'll do the others. Okay, number 1. under practice time, so that is g of x is equal to negative 4 raised to x minus 2. So, yung function natin nakasulat na sa ganitong form, di ba? So, our b here is may negative, tapos walang katabi yan, pero ibig sabihin may 1 dyan, di ba? Parang kanina. So, ang b natin dito ay negative 1. So, since negative 1 yan, ibig sabihin that is less than 0. Okay? So, itong susundan natin yung number 2. Our domain, since walang restriction dyan, that is simply set of all real numbers. Our range, ito yon kasi less than 1 yung ating b. That will be negative infinity. And of course, our h is negative 2. Okay, next example, that is, okay, sige, gawin natin yung isang restriction. Gawin na lang natin lahat ng practice time. Anyway, may activity naman kayo dun sa assessment 2. Number 2, that is y is equal to 2x. May restriction yung ating domain dito na x is less than, ayan, less than or equal to 4, but greater than or equal to 5. Sorry class, I think may nagkamali ata sa yung na-encode dito, no? But you change this one. This should be greater than or equal to 4. Kasi pag ganito kasi class, no? X, mas mababa siya kay 4, pero mas malaki siya kay 5. Wala namang number na gano'n, di ba? So, please change this one. Magiging greater than 4. So, mas malaki siya kay 4. Tapos, mas maliit siya kay 5. Ibig sabihin, from 4 to 5. So, 4, 4.1, 4.2, and so on. So, since restricted yan, ito ang ating domain mismo. This will be our domain, no? Or in this notation, ayan, since may equal dyan, that will be close or bracket and then 4, comma. Since may equal rin dito, naka-equal yan, that will be 5 and then close. Since restricted dyan, ang gagawin ulit natin, class, ay isa-substitute yung x, no? So at 4, at x is equal to 4, yung value ng ating function ay y is equal to 2 raised to 4. So 2 raised to 4 means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So that is equal to 16. So at x is equal to 5, that will be y is equal to raised to 5. Ito, kinukuha lang natin yung values dito. Then 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that is equal to 32, no? So sundan lang natin ito. For our range, let me write it here. Or dito na lang. Saan ba? Sige dito. Range, that will be equal to, ito yung ating domain, no? The range will be, okay, close bracket, kasi close bracket, yan, sundan lang natin. And then 16, and then 32. And then close bracket. Okay, last for this practice time. Last example for practice time, this is number 3, that is f of x is equal to negative 3 raised to x plus 5. Ito yung third sa page 6. So again, negative yan, walang katabi, no? Ibig sabihin may negative 1 yan dyan. So ang b natin dito ay negative 1, which is less than 0, kaya number 2 ulit tayo. Yung domain natin dito walang restriction, that is set of R. For our range, again, since negative yung ating b, we simply get this one, that is negative of infinity. Ang h natin, no, walang h dito, that means that is 0, kasi walang nakasulat doon. Okay, I think for the others, very similar, no? So you can try answering assessment 2 and assessment 3. Anyway, similar naman sila ng steps dito. And of course, you also learn what I have learned and what I can do. And then post-assessment. So I sent in your GC, in our GC, yung mga kailangan nyo lang i-submit. So yun lang yung isasubmit ninyo. You write your answers on separate sheet of paper. Okay? And of course, we have here, after answering assessment 2 or assessment 3, you check kung tama nga ba yung ginawa ninyo using using the answer key on the back page of your module. Okay? So, thank you very much for joining me today. If you have any questions, you can just send me a message. And let's see what we can do about your concern. Take care always.